Geneva, Switzerland is the world's capital of peace. The International Red Cross was founded here, and it's home to the United Nations European headquarters. I wanted to learn more about the UN's work, so I paid a visit.
My name is Corinne Momal-Vanian. I'm the Director of Information of the UN Office at Geneva and spokesperson for the UN in Geneva. What I do is really mostly develop outreach programs for the young and for non-governmental organizations, for the general public. And I also act as the spokesperson and head of press matters, so dealing with the journalists, making sure that all the incredible things that occur here at the Palais are well covered by the world press.
What's its relevancy today in today's world?
Well, what we're trying to show is that it has an impact on everybody on this planet from the moment they get up to the moment they go to bed, men and women. And that is not very well known because we think of the UN as maybe helping people in crisis, in conflict, in disasters. We don't necessarily think that all of us, whether in the north or the south, are actually impacted by the UN in different ways. And this is what we try to show. And this is especially true of here the UN in Geneva, which is the operational hub for the UN. So from health to the world of work, to your mobile phone, to patents, everything is really linked somehow to our activity here.
The UN has a very unique cookbook project. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's part of a project that we call the Perception Change Project, which is to explain better to people what we do and how our work impacts the life of people around the world. So we decided one cool way to do it would just to be publishing a cookbook where we have some real recipes that were donated by top chefs in Geneva. And at the same time, each organization that works in this international city described in the form of a recipe what they do. For instance, they would say, you know, the Red Cross would say, well, the ingredients would be a few committed people, a dash of international law, and so on. And at the end, you get, as a recipe, you get protection of civilians. And it's just off the press, and we think it's going to be successful because it just talks in very direct and simple ways, but with beautiful imagery, very nice photos about what we do here.
Tell us a little bit about your role or the importance of the UN as it relates to women and girls around the world.
Again, it touches the lives of every girl around the world, every woman, whether it's in education, in health, very importantly, maternal health. This is one of the big areas of work of the UN, whether it's the World Health Organization or UNICEF. It has a role in ensuring that women's rights are protected and promoted, no discrimination. For instance, the International Labour Organization will do research about salary gaps between men and women, and that also relates to us here in Europe or North America, not only to developing countries. So every single aspect of a woman's life really is, again, impacted by what the UN does.
What is the number one thing that we can do, the developed world, to help women, particularly in girls that are in underdeveloped countries?
I think maybe 10, 15 years ago, I would have said education, because the numbers were still very bad, but we've made incredible progress in ensuring that girls go to primary school already. I think we're near parity now at primary school, which is a huge progress because that's the basis for everything. But I think now the two main challenges I would say, and the things that we should focus on also in the developed world in our assistance, is maternal health, because that's still unacceptable. I mean, really, death in childbirth and death during pregnancies are really very at an unacceptable level. That's one thing. And the other one is discrimination and rights in general. We really have, I think, to be very firm about countries' commitments to ending discrimination against women in all legal matters, and not only in law, but in reality as well.
Geneva, you have a place in my heart. These are some of my favorite Geneva gems. Thanks for watching. I'm Shannon Skinner. Please subscribe to my channel.